I'm
What's up, Alex? How you doing today, bud?
doing fabulous. Well, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Shit, it's been a while since we got a chance to chat.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. What do we go back? Like 10 years, right?
It's been
If
about
not
10,
long,
yeah,
yeah, it's been 10. We go back 14. I
14-ish,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I moved to the river, 2010. We're in 2015 now. Yeah, I'll give it 15 years. So that's when I met Mr. William B. Peaker, our mutual associate.
Mr.
That
Peaks.
Mr. Peaks, yes, he was getting married. Yeah.
God, shit. Oh, no, we're gonna stay on topic. We'll stay on top. Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. So,
yeah, I go.
Alex, what brought you to this podcast?
Men's mental health. Its impact on me, my journey, what I do, who I am, and wow, the lack of it in becoming a service member. And I'm not saying I don't get care now, but wow, I wish I was a doctor and reinvented it. So that's why I'm coming to
Man, you just said a lot right there. It was
this.
like how it actually has impacted your life. Like, I know a little bit about your backstory, but like I know you were in the Marine Corps and how you served, and then just briefly you talk about the alcohol culture. Like,
Yes, yeah.
but
Yeah, keep going.
what I was gonna say, like with mental health and alcohol, because I know that's really, really tied together, especially with being a veteran and then also being in the Marine Corps. Is how like do you want to share just a little bit about your own journey about how it shaped like how mental health or the lack of actually opening up about it?
How it shaped my mental health. All right, alcohol.
No, just in general, the mental health part. Because like to me, I believe that trauma is a gateway drug to all substances, but that's just my belief.
I agree. I agree. And I hit the bottle hard. Coming off 6 months, 7 months in Iraq. Second Battle of Fallujah, and doing what I did. Yeah, and coping with the nightmares and coping with the reprogramming. The military, the defense mechanisms. It's like I'm going to kung fu fists before anything else. And it's just like when you can't use that, like what do you do? It's like you got to sit there ready. And it's just like you can't always be out, so you'd be in the house or you'd be in the barracks hitting the bottle. So it's such a culture
Yeah.
of alcohol abuse, and they tried to limit it. They put the $6 limit, the 6 beer limit on the fridge. No, and it wasn't even per person, was it? It was just six in the fridge. Do
Oh,
you
in
remember that?
Okinawa,
What'd you have?
we had dry barracks before I left, and then we were allowed to have a 6 pack per person as NCO.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of privilege.
Well, honestly, it was like you guys are going to get in some trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, the alcohol, but definitely the alcohol culture, huge part of it. So it impacted me. It impacted me. Impacted my journey. Um, I'm a published author. I'm an artist. I'm a poet, and it's just like my combat experience only really came out when I hit the bottle
Hmm.
or other substances. It's just it's 2025, and it's a very vast world. Like I hear about the things that are out there now. It didn't get that crazy, but yeah, it definitely service was a gateway drug to alcohol. Yeah, but I don't know. I started drinking before service. I ain't gonna lie about that.
No,
But
I
anyway, next question.
you wouldn't be a Marine if you actually didn't do that. No,
Yeah,
and
I
honestly,
drank. I drank my way into the core. I did. I was a server at a fancy seafood place in downtown Baltimore on the water. On the water in Baltimore, and it was a party scene. I'm a server. It's like that culture. If that's not a party culture. You serve people all day and you give people alcohol and food all day. The only thing you want when you're done is alcohol and food. That's the way I say it. Can you respect that idea?
Oh, I respect the idea. I actually wanted to actually go back to something else you said about the Second Battle of Fallujah or actually
Yep.
being in the Marine Corps. Like, I think you know this offline, but I had my own shit where it's like, you know what? I want to try to fucking drown these demons. I just want
Yep.
to say go bye bye. Or like
Yeah.
the other
I
thing
I
was,
think I think I met you in that phase.
yeah, you met
Yeah.
me right after I got divorced, and I used to smoke weed that actually helped me fall asleep. I didn't realize until I started getting really a lot of mental health. It's that I started getting anxious before I went to sleep. So I would drink. So I was actually getting ready to go to sleep so I didn't have to worry about my demons.
Yeah. I dragged past them. Like I said, I had the nightmares. The nightmares. Like it's like yeah, I had to crash hard
Hmm.
to avoid that little nighttime journey through the demons, through the memories. So yeah, that's what I did. So yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, I got a freaking hardball one for you. What were some of the
What do you
stigmas that actually prevented you from getting mental health sooner?
got? Do you recall those reports we did? Yeah, like an after action report, but it was like paper, and it was like you got it from yeah your corpsman or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember, but I don't know. I got them, so I filled them out. And I was just like, nah, dude, everything's cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Because there were so many stigmas. Yeah, like you said, you were broken. Like you're done. You're done. Nobody wants to hang out with you. Nobody wants to play war with you.
No,
So,
you actually telling you're telling your buddies you got to go there alone. You're not. I'm not going to be able to go there with you.
right. Yeah, it's like pulling a parachute. Like you're jumping out. If you admit that you have an issue, yeah, you're jumping out. You're like later, guys, deuces. Yeah, they'd shut you down.
It's
Next
like
thing you know, you're gonna see the wizard. You know, and you're done. He's gonna talk you into some spin. These are only opinions. These are only opinions, but this is the way. Because what was I? A PFC, a Lance Corporal. A corporal and a sergeant. But what's I focused on? I was focused on leading Marines. I was a grunt. 0311. Hoorah. Let's do it. So I'm just saying, like, I was writing battle plans, stuff like that, schmiak, BAMSs. But no, like mental health, it was the bottle and playing warrior. That was it. It was a 24/7 game.
mhm.
I had a phone. And it's like you work for Uncle Sam. Yeah, Uncle Sam. Yeah, Uncle Sam needs something. You call. He's like, I need my lawn mowed. And he lives next door. You're his boy. You gotta go over. So that's the way I see it. So,
It was. I honestly answered the questions honestly, and they were like, "Hey, you got to go talk to a person." And I
oh
thought it was,
really?
yeah, I thought it was like the common cold because they sent me to a different duty station. I was like, "Yo, I'm not saying anything. It's over with." And then all of a sudden, I flipped out on one of my sergeants, and then and
You
then he
got
sent
caught.
and then he sent me over to ATG to go advisor
Right.
training group to go train Iraqis overseas. But
Oh, nice.
yo,
That sounds like
I had to
fun.
go. I had to go sign a waiver to go back. It was just like I'm like I only felt normal over there. Back in the rear, it's like
Ah,
back in the rear, it just felt like what are we doing? What are we doing?
yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That feeling. Yeah, I was a trigger puller. Like it was fun. And I lived. Oh, like wow. Like I signed up for it. I knew what I was doing. I was going to war. I was going to war.
Dude,
So
yeah,
that's
war
it's
is, yeah.
yeah. I don't know, it's just a different ball game. We ain't talking apple pie and baseball.
Apple pie and baseball. Holy crap.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
and honestly, I think this actually brings up a huge point. It's knowing that we will get pulled out of the game, get pulled out of the lineup if, hey, and we know other people that have actually been pulled out and how it has messed with them afterwards. They're like, hey, you know what? I had never had a chance to test my metal. I never had a chance to. And a person that's been there is like, you don't understand how it is. You should be lucky. But the other person on the other side is like,
Right.
you don't understand how it is to be pulled out. It's kind of like how many people, even getting separated from the Marine Corps, if the 4 years, you're like, I miss this. I miss the Corps.
Ah, every day.
It's a cult, man. I think we all drank the friggin' purple Kool Aid over in Periscope.
It's a fraternity, bro. It's a brother. It doesn't die. So it's not a cult, nobody really looks at you. All right, so maybe some people look at you like you're a bad guy, but most people are like, hey, good job, way to stand up, and I appreciate that. Like I was just, I don't know, I was lost. I was in a spin because of booze.
Hmm.
Like I was waiting tables at an Irish pub in Baltimore after the seafood place we were talking about. And I'm just lost. So, like, what did I do? I'm sitting on my couch, like, smoking a joint, drinking a beer. It's like five Marines, like, watching the news. Five Marines killed in Iraq today. And guess where it was? It was Fallujah. And I was like, what did I do to sit on my couch and get crazy? Hang out. I did jack shit. So I went to the recruiter and he's like, what's with you old guys? Because I was the second old guy I had like that week. He had like a 40-year-old guy came in and spoke like five languages. I was like, dude, I was like, just sign me up. I was like, I'm trainable. And he's like, all right. And I thought I did the ASVAB, smack that around. I did all right on that. Anyway, keep them coming at me. I don't want to use up your time. It's only 12 minutes.
No,
What we got? We got
usually I
a
talk.
half out.
No,
What's
usually
that?
I talk for about an hour, man. So there's no rush. It's
Oh, cool.
dude, it's this is pretty much getting to know you a little bit about your story and about what's going on. Like that's why I think it's actually important for you to share wherever what parts that like matter to you or
There
stick
was
out.
one thing. There was one thing I want to say that really stuck out to me.
Sure.
Go back. Rewind to what you were saying. What were you just talking about? Ah, damn it.
What about
Um,
drinking my demons to sleep?
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, was that so much stuff? Because the other thing is like I move so fast. Upstairs. They say it's so smooth is fast. I haven't figured out how to control my mind without booze
Hmm.
because I'm 201 days sober. Thank you,
I'm
thank
being
you.
sincere when I say that, dude.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's so damn hard. I just turned 50. I've been training. Yeah, I've been at it for a while. I've been hitting the BOTTLE. So yeah, it's just drinking the demons to sleep.
It's
Wow. But
it's
but here's the thing, art and poetry. My book and my painting has totally helped me process all those demons. Like a simple act of just putting it out there. Like talking, like about talking to guys, like us now talking. You know what I'm saying? I've been in group settings. I see a therapist weekly. I think it's great to have somebody to talk to.
yeah,
So what it is just getting it out there. If you don't know that the stuff is there, you're never going to utilize it. You're never going to find out that it's good. And another thing is when I came out, so I'm a young vet, so to speak, but I was like 35, 40 when I came out. I was like, no, screw these old guys. I didn't fit in. They were all like World War II, Vietnam, like there was a world there's out of World War II guys. Then there's all Vietnam guys. Like I got nothing to say for a guy. Like, nice black boots and vertical warfare. Great. Got it. You know. I got nothing on that. So I felt different. Like not ostracized, but just like a kid in like an old man's world. Now I'm 50 and I'm like, hey dude, what's up? How you doing? Where you been? It's weird how you grow and you change as a veteran too, just as you do as a service member, throughout your career, whether it's like you take a B billet or something like that. Yeah, and next thing you're a drill instructor or you're a recruiter, that changes who you are. It changes your whole resume, you know? So,
I actually want to
uh,
get back to something you were talking about. Like you
with that,
said, 201 days sober. Again,
yeah,
huge accomplishment.
thank you.
And I'm being sincere because people don't understand. Like if you've been doing at this way before you're even 18 years old, I'm saying for me, I started
Oh,
when I was,
oh yeah.
and then
How
all of a
old?
sudden, I started when I was able to buy beer at 14. I had my brother's ID and I was able to buy beer. But
Hmm.
at this time, it's like you get to an age and it's like, why am I even trying? Why am I even changing? Like, what caused you to decide to say, you know what, I'm ready?
Oh, Quentin. My dad's death. Yeah, my dad passed away in September. No, like August 30th of 2024. So I hit the bottle hard for a week, 9 days. Like I hit it hard. I went jumbo. Like I lined them up. I took them down. And then I was just like, all right, I give up. And I just gave up. And I didn't jump into meetings. I'm not doing the steps. I'm not gonna tell you that that's what got me through it. I've tried that. I've been there. I've done that. I've tried that. Um, Not my gig. Not my gig. But so I just gave up. Dad died, and he kind of took it with him. Yeah, as long as I was willing to give it up, he was willing to take it with him. So that's the way I look at that.
So I'll ask you another tough question. What when you started getting help, what was the
Hmm.
catalyst that actually like when the first time you started asking for mental health? What was the catalyst that you decided to get change? And what was the stigma that you had to get over?
All right. So, like every good man, my greatest motivator was a woman. Whether it's for good or for evil, my greatest motivator was a woman. And she was like, dude, like, what's your deal? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just living. And she's like, well, you're not doing a very good job. And I was like, okay. And she's like, you need to see somebody. And I did. And I was like, wow. It's like, ooh, getting poor reviews this month. Yeah, so it was simple as that. Like I just found out that I really needed to talk to somebody, and it's like, and it was so easy. I just found somebody I gelled with, and I was just like, I opened up, and it was great. It was so beneficial to me. Um, how I see things and how I process what I've done. And how I take on my day to day.
What
So,
prevented you from getting help sooner?
oh, the stigmas. I don't know. Yeah, just being a man. Just like, I don't know, maybe just our society. Like, there are people out there that don't even believe that mental health, is an issue. Have you met any of those people? Yeah. Um, so I met some people like that. They're like, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just like, yeah, shake it off. Get back in the game, drink water, rub dirt on it.
Here's some
So,
Motrin, change your socks.
yeah, change the socks, exactly. Yeah, I was talking about like football, but yeah, so I was just like, I met a woman, and the things that held me back, um, God. What held me back from doing it? Just being a dude and being hard, tough. Those walls. You build those walls. Yeah, right? So you build these walls, and it's just like you can't get through them. Nobody can get through them. You don't trust nobody. Like everybody's like a secret agent. Yeah, like everybody's a bad guy. You get these things like you gotta check your car for like explosives. Like it's tough out there. So
It's it's crazy. You go to a bar, you look at everything as a possible weapon, you look at everybody else in there as a possible threat, and
oh yeah yeah
like so I'm actually going to bring up a person that both of us know, Bobby, and
oh
Bobby was one
love
of my
Bobby.
roommates,
Right.
and
I remember that place.
it, he used to get so he was like he told me he was like, "Yo, Will, you're just fucked up." Like he actually told me that before, and it's it's like you because you want to love people, you want people to love you, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, I don't know if I could trust you. I don't know if you're really allowed in this circle.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, dude, I met you right after your divorce in that place. Like, let's talk about that place, can we?
Sure.
Yeah, and I wasn't in that circle. Yeah, like I felt your energies. Like you had mad balls. Yeah, you looked at everybody, and then Bobby. It's just that was you, right?
What?
Oh, Bobby. Bobby said that to you.
Yeah, Bobby said that to me is because there was times that him and I went out and somebody would bump into him, and I wanted to fight the whole posse because at the same time when I thought fighting was the closest thing to actually having sex or some thrill.
Oh, okay.
So
I
when
have I have some side chat questions for you on that subject. Unless you want to talk about everything.
I'll just
Yeah. So, do you have any other diagnoses?
uh, P-
Diagnoses? Besides,
PTSD,
uh-huh.
anxiety, and depression.
Okay. Anxiety and depression. So I'm bipolar.
Yep.
So it's like I have my moments where it's just like I just wanna go berserk. I have a lot of energy. I've learned to channel it in my old age for benefit, beneficial to me, my art, my poetry, good things, as opposed to hitting the bottle. Like, it's like you give a demon nothing but free time and some money in his pocket, he's gonna hit the bottle.
Hmm.
There's a fire to put out, and it just doesn't go out.
Well,
So,
I do want to circle back to because you brought up
okay,
art a few times.
okay, cool.
Art, like, what got you into it? What got you into the multiple mediums of art? And how does it feel when you're trying to start and produce the art? I
Oh
know it's a
my
lot of
God.
questions.
There's a lot of questions. They're very complex. They're as complex as a piece of art. Um, I started art like I've always carried it with me, always had it in me. It was just this little nugget that I took from grade school. And I just had it, and I just always wanted to polish it. And then one day in 2019, I was like, dude, I went to Michael's. I got all the supplies and I just went berserk. And then somebody was like, hey, that's really nice. Can I have it? And I was like, yeah. $20, $50, $100. I don't know. What do you want to pay for it? So it became like a little business, a little side hustle. So I'll do anything. Like, all right, so I'm an untrained artist, so I'll use anything for art. Art is expression. It's what you see, what you feel. So I'm not getting into wicked, nasty stuff. But I'm an abstract artist, and that's what I do, and that's what I love to do. Um, God, I'm looking at this. Hold on a second. Can I flip this around?
Sure.
How do I can't leave right here? No. Turn that on. How do I? Oh, there it is. Gotta be this. How do I turn? Dude, how do I turn it around?
I don't know, but I can see that beautiful painting behind you.
All right, can you see this one? Isn't
Wow. To the
that
right?
cool?
Oh, yeah. That is. What made you decide to do that one?
Um, I throw paint on canvases. Yeah, there's really no process. Like I'm not like I'm gonna draw a picture and then I'm gonna reproduce it. Like I am inspirational. I throw paint on canvases and they come out pretty damn good.
You know who also on Long Island used to do that and he was known for splatter paint?
Jackson Pollock.
Yep. Jackson Pollock over
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Hamptons.
yeah.
But
And no, it's got a dash of Jackson Pollock in it. Yeah, I definitely bit off that, but I threw a sheet of plastic on top of it, like a drop cloth of plastic, and I was like ripping it apart. You know, so it smashed the paint. Like it's not just splash and splatter paint. You know, I'm not pure biting on the guy. Yeah, he was good. So, but yes, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I I appreciate you showing your art because it's just another outlet instead of just a bottle. Because 201 days
Yes.
sober, 201
Yeah.
days sober, you got a few more dollars in your pocket. You're going towards an expression of your emotions on an outside
Hmm.
median. Dude, I love it. I definitely wanted to sit there with you. I do got a question for you. What is part of your journey that you want to share to hopefully help someone out that has a similar history as you? And you got to remember, we have a bunch of different listeners. So whatever you do want to share, the floor is yours.
Repeat the question.
What is part of your journey that you want to share to hopefully help someone out that they are in a similar position as you or a similar history?
Yeah, it's just that's the thing. Like, no matter what your history is, feel included. You know, like maybe you didn't see combat, but you were in the service. Like, you're still one of us. You know what I'm saying? We're all members of the same group. You know, don't feel excluded because that's one of the things. Like, I felt different when I got out. Like, I felt like a kid compared to the old dudes. And you just got to be in there. You got to participate. If mental health is an issue and it's a concern of yours, you have to seek that help. You'll find it. It's there, you know, and participate. Be active. You know, like what I say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've asked for help and I got it. Yeah, whether it's the VA hospital or local providers, like there's healthcare clinics out there, you know, for people that are impoverished, homeless, whatever it is. Like they want you to be safe and healthy. So go for it. Yeah.
And how hard was it for you to listen to your ex or that girl that you met to actually get help?
Uh, Dude,
Because you
maybe
did
it's just,
say it's about a woman. Lindsay helped.
yeah.
My ex-wife really helped me out a lot. And same thing with my
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend. She really, they both actually
It
helped.
wasn't. It's so funny. It wasn't my ex-wife. Um, what did she say? I'm sorry, I'm spinning out of control. I get like a lot of stuff.
Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself. Oh, Alice recorder stops due to incoming call. Oh, you're good to go now.
I know. I was getting a call. I was getting a call. It was a spam risk. Are you spamming me? My dog's like totally like left me because of you. She's like on the floor. She usually sits next to me all night. Oh my God. It's so much better like hanging out with a dog on the couch than hanging out with some dogs at the bar.
So you were saying about like, because you said that getting help and the reason I actually bring up your ex about it, what they said to you to be able to help change your
Oh,
narrative.
no, they just said what they said. Where it was like, you need help. Like you have issues. The things you do, your actions, and here it is. I'll explain it. It's my PTSD. It was my hypervigilance. My head was on a swivel. I'm checking the locks on the door, the windows, like, what's that car going down the street, going past the house? Like, I was bugged out. That wasn't good. So yeah, and I didn't know that. Like you're not supposed to, like you gotta be like a crackhead looking out your window. And it's like I didn't know that that's what they did. So yeah, I know I'm pretty funny in my expressive modes.
No, I do appreciate it because I can actually see myself, dude. Like, you know how
Yeah,
many
checking the
times
lock.
dude, I have actually walked downstairs and checked the locks multiple times. Like,
Like
I
three
have,
times.
it's like
Three
I
times.
have
And you're
walked around,
drunk. And you're drunk too.
oh, completely sober and still doing it. Looking out the
Oh,
window,
really?
why is there a flashing light by my house? What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Because like I know you say so. You're over in Fallujah. When I was in Iraq, I remember actually
Hmm.
seeing people flicking lights back and forth while we were driving night out, and they were
Oh,
flashing their
yeah.
lights to each other. So when I see flickering lights, I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
my spidey sense is kicking up a little bit."
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Who wants to get spicy?
but then I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Will. Thank you for getting my back over there, bud. I appreciate it." And
Yeah.
I have to remind, I got to remind the big monster inside. I'm like, "Hey, thank you. You got it, bud."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's the truth. Like checking the locks. I've heard about people searching the house multiple times. I've searched the house in my skivvies because I heard a noise in the house. It was an old house and it creaked. So I'm just freaking patrolling my whole house, looking through all the windows, making sure all of them are locked. And I'm like, what's going on? It
Yeah.
it's not uncommon.
No. Yeah. So I've checked the house. Like I checked the locks. Climbed through the window. Well, the locks, the windows weren't locked. Go figure.
So yeah, kind of a softball right here. What are some of the strengths that you gained from getting help?
Oh my God. Some of his strengths. No, it's just the clarity. Yeah, the ability to deal with your emotions. Yeah. Um, oh my God. I lost a lot of the self-doubt that came with the alcohol because it's like every day is like an alcohol withdrawal. It's like you hit the bottle at night, and then like during the next day, you're just like, what am I gonna do? I feel miserable. And then like somebody calls, like, hey, dude, we're going to the bar. Giants are gonna play tonight. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. So that's a strength. It's just like losing that self doubt.
The I know you're and I don't want to say you're fresh into it because 201 days is quite some time.
Yeah, it's kind of fresh. It's like freshy. It's what do
But
you got? You got it's all right. It's not that much time. It's not. It's a year. A year's a good time.
that's about it. And how has it impacted your relationships?
They're more stable. I'm more stable. Like I'm not bouncing around mentally. Like I don't know. I'm baselining. I'm just chilling. So
Yeah, it's you said it perfectly because like a lot of times we don't even think about it. We think we have a lot of friends when we go to the bar, but that's good time Charlie right there. And then all of a
good
sudden,
time, Charlie. Yeah, two time Charlie's a bad dude.
you come back and you're like, are they really my friends or are they just if I have a flat tire, would they actually come out and give you a hand?
Nah, I ain't got no
Uh,
friends. I got a whole bunch of acquaintances.
yep.
Tell you that much. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what a lot of times we don't talk about, but It's so different. Like I think about this, and I've been really working on it because started getting a lot of mental health back in 2021 when I almost actually ended my life. And
Um,
it was I did 13 weeks in a residential, but I did 7 days in a psych ward after I almost ended my life. And I looked
wow.
at how relationships are different and how I have dialogue with people or I connect with people.
Right.
And I was actually talking about this just before for when I was doing work. I actually got friends that I could say, "Yo, can you hold on to my 45? Can you hold on to my rifle?" And
Hmm.
I won't even feel bad about asking.
Good.
It's such a weird dynamic where I felt for a while like a lot of the relationships I had,
Hmm.
they were very superficial, and I felt like I had to control everything.
I know what you're saying, dude. I know how you're saying like who we are and our development impacts our relationships and how booze impacts our relationships, our mental health. I think also as a species, humans, and the development of the male.
Hmm.
I don't know the impact of pop culture on the human male. It's like it's tough out there. The dating scene's rough. So you like hitch up with anybody, and next thing it's a bad scene. It's like really bad. I know someone who got stabbed. What about you? So it's just like it's tough out there. So and then they had booze and drugs.
Hmm.
It's going south. So anyway, I'm so happy to be sober, and just like my sobriety, like I'm just a weirdo because I would just sit on my couch. I got to a point where I would just sit on the couch with my booze, just slamming seltzers, hitting like I'm not gonna do any advertisements, but hitting claws and nooners, like by the 12 pack. And it's just like, and that's fine. I'm just sitting on the couch, like, what am I gonna bust out? Like a painting or a poem? Like that was my decision every night. Like I wasn't driving. What is that? I guess on my lip. I was eating chocolate. I had chocolate on my lip. Um, yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's just like my booze. It was different as I got older. Like I just got weak, and I didn't want to talk to anybody anymore. Like who am I gonna talk to? Like it's like somebody I don't want to go home with, or some dude who peaked in his high school football career. Like it's tough out there. So
Sounds like you want relationships that were a lot deeper than something superficial.
absolutely, dude. Like I'm in it for the long haul. You know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's kind of like I know I think about this when like you're interacting with somebody, you start drinking, yeah, you can actually have a great time with them, but then at the same time, it's like like very very subsurface, and
right.
yeah, it's like
Even the sharing, like of thoughts. Because I'm a poet and I put it in certain ways. Like when I talk about my drinking in my poetry, I'll write about blackouts. I'll write about everything. Um, uh, Dude, what was I thinking? Oh, so it's just like people are just throwing thoughts at you. Like you're not even talking. Like they just throw thoughts. It's kind of how I talk. I throw my poetry. I throw thoughts at you. And that's the way I've grown up, in the bar scene of just being like, yeah, dude, yeah, the Bears, yeah, best team in the East or whatever. Like you just, and some dude's good in stats, and the one guy's seen the movie and knows the lines. It's just like the bar scene's garbage. So,
our scene is garbage. Love it,
thanks.
dude. It's crazy to think in 10 years how different our dialogue will actually happen. It's fascinating.
Yeah, yeah, 10 years, wow.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's.
I just had my 20-year reunion from Fallujah.
Oof. I'm about to actually have
Yeah.
my 20-year reunion of my friend's death next year. Actually, I I have an
Oh.
anniversary next week on April 8th. This day, I'll just jump in. And I'll just share this part. And so April 8th used to be a day for me where it will start in like February, and it wouldn't actually end until about June or July. About the like how messed up I would be. I would
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would actually have a hard time getting out of bed. I noticed that I had a huge uptick in drinking. I noticed I
Oh,
had
is that your depression?
yeah, because it was really surrounded like an anniversary of like everything else. Like losing my buddy
Hmm.
really changed my life, and I didn't know how to really process it because you're there, and then all of a sudden
Hmm.
they're not, and then all of a sudden like you got to still do everything that you're supposed to do, and then you
Yeah.
come back and it's just like compounded of a bunch of stuff, and you're like, I haven't processed any of this stuff, and you expect me to try to process with a bunch of strangers?
Oh, so you mentioned the term processing. So when we were in Fallujah, it's like, we went door to door, house to house. Yeah, and it's like they got smart on us, and they changed their tactics, and they kind of roughed us up. So we'd lose a couple of guys a day. And it was just like we'd go back to the hooch and somebody would play a song, and then next thing you know, we're back in the fight. It's like you kind of like sit around, you think about it. You listen to the song, you sleep through the night, and then boom, you're up in the morning doing patrols.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's your processing. It's like you didn't talk about it. We go, oh, he's a great guy. You're like, yeah, he was a great guy, but it's just like, we could have used a little more comfort. I hate to say we could have used the feminine touch, but yeah,
But
I don't know.
when you're like shitting on the streets or shitting in bags, and then you're just kicking indoors, and you're really just searching everything because you have to be so present. It's
Oh
like,
my God. Oh, I found a good one. So here I am, a little Lance Corporal, kicking indoors with First Battalion, 8th Marines Bravo Company. Um, I'm standing out front, like we're in a house, and like, the LT's in there, like Gunny's in there, and I'm like, yo, come here. And like I'm in front on the lawn, and the lawn is all like soft and like spongy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they come out, and I'm like, there's something off here. So they grab the grass, they pull it up, and there's like 10 AKs, a bunch of hand grenades. I was like, yes, nailed it. So you talk about ever present, and just how sneaky it was. It was a sneaky reality, hiding shit under the grass like that. So
dude, it's
whatever.
I tell this actually to some of the providers I work with. I talk to about guys in groups.
What's
Is
that?
that when I go across potholes, I still pucker. I don't know.
Oh,
And like
I don't know.
if you see something hanging from like the wires, I'm like I kind of do a lot more of a scanning type of vibe.
I don't know, dude. I think I've done some healing and gotten some pretty healthy thoughts going. Um, I'm not gonna say I didn't when I first got back. Like I remember leaving the Irish pub in Bolton, New York. Yeah, it's not there anymore. It was on Sunrise Highway, and like a car backfired. And I swear to God, like I like took down the woman standing in front of me, and was like, "Everybody's gonna be all right. You're right. You're right. You're right." No, it was hilarious.
Oh,
So
I'll tell you a quick funny story about diving.
oh, talk about diving.
Oh man! So we just got back from Iraq and Okinawa, and I heard a doof. I hit the
All
ground
right.
so hard. I was supposed to go down because I'm walking to BAS and I'm by myself. I hit the ground so freaking hard. I was like just petting the grass like this, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm here." and
Oh my god.
then I start
Oh.
brushing off my legs, and it's like I'm a corporal at this time, and I'm like, I wonder if anybody saw this.
How
You
many
know,
tours you do?
I did too.
You do too. Okay. That'll rough you up.
You know, it changed my perspective, and for the most part, my head is very clear now. But
Right.
I won't deny it though. Like sometimes the side of me that actually kept me protected comes out a little bit, and it's just like, and I have to remind myself and actually have that conversation.
I think the best thing about the protective side is that like you get in the groove, you hang out, you feel the vibe, and then when you need to protect, it's there.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta learn how to like gel and like feel the vibe of the situation. When everybody's having a good time, you know, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, look around. If there's some weird dude in the corner with a freaking duffel bag, you know, like, and he ain't talking to anybody, you're like, yeah, like, what's up with that guy? You're like, hey, man, can I buy you a drink? You know, like, you're kind of cute. Whatever. Say whatever you got to say. I'm just saying, like, you got to feel the vibe. You got to, when it's time to save the day, you save that special skill you learned in the core.
So they call
So,
that post traumatic growth. Actually, knowing your old skills that kept you alive, and then being able to
yeah.
live in the present, and actually having a multiple way of thinking.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that I'm actually learning.
Oh,
I gave you what I've learned. They've actually categorized it. This is great. I've had growth. I should write this down and bring it up.
bro, you should make a
Um,
poem about this right now.
Dude, can I read another poem to you?
You didn't read me a first poem.
Yeah, how about I read? I'll read you like a blackout poem.
Just one poem, and then I gotta ask you a question.
What do you got? Can
No,
you ask a question? Ask a
no,
question now?
I'm gonna let you read the blackout poem because I'm gonna ask you a
Yeah,
question about that, and then I'm gonna ask you one more question to wrap up the dialogue.
sure. Hold on one second. I gotta find it. I've got a vast manuscript here for my second book. That's a good one. Um, no, it's
So,
uh,
question:
go.
Why is this one so special to you? This poem that you
I
want to share?
I think it really um it sums up drinking and like the extent of how bad it can be.
Please share it then.
If you know what I'm saying, like it's just like it breaks it down in a fashion that just like kind of makes it dark and dirty, something that you really don't want to do. I just gotta find it. This, like I'm saying, I got 86 pages of poems,
So it's just pretty much a
and
scribble pad, just a few lines.
yeah, I found it. Yeah, scribble pad. That's it. Oh, found it. Hold on. Right there. It's called Putting Shit Back Together. Memory is a meal you never ate, the mysterious task of filling time with names you'll never remember and faces too dead to be forgotten. Periods of darkness, searching through pockets, retching on a fair morning, tempted to call it quits, enjoying the process, despising the results. Saw you there, through images flashed on a blank slate, starting over, tabla rasa, caught raising corpses, then begging for answers, seeing the worst of it, then at it again, new dawn and a far horizon, still walking into imaginary rooms with no light switches, driven by the fear, begging for the truth. That's it. Is that good?
I like it, man. It's down and dirty. It gets your point
It-
across.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of my father when he was. My father used to go to the bar every night after work. And did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you froze for a
No,
sec.
wait.
He's
I want to say.
my father used to go to the bar and just scrounge up the change from the night before or what the stuff that we had to handle. And unfortunately, alcohol was a disease that I was very familiar with.
Right.
So the question I got for you: what is something you are hoping to accomplish from talking on this podcast?
I want people to know about the ability, if they seek mental health facilities, not even facilities, but just whatever it's groups or providers, they're there. Like they're there. Everybody knows that it's not easy going to war, or being a vet. So, or being a dude. Even let's say that being a guy, like it's not easy, like because you get beat up. You're driven in so many ways, whether it's sports, being a Cub Scout. It's like you get driven. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because that's a great picture of me up
Oh, it's a beautiful picture of you right
there.
there. It's no, it's you nailed it. And the reason again, this is why I want to actually get this podcast out there and hopefully keep improving. Is that men's mental health means a lot to me, and it's about all the pitfalls that we come across and a lot of things that we don't talk about and be vulnerable to other people, and how it's actually being lost and stuck, and how it really damages a lot of relationships and makes us actually go towards substance abuse or the final cause of like suicide or other violent acts.
I think as a guy, like, we're always closed up to other people's ideas.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like I got this. Like, especially like my family, like, we're extremely stubborn. I was like, I got this. But we don't. So we never seek anybody's help. We think we're the quarterback, but it's like we ain't got no coach. There's no line. You got no receivers. Like it's tough out there. So it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like I always like I'm open to people's help. I'm open to people's advice. And I want people to know that I'm there for my advice. Like I've been in therapy for wow, quite some time. 22 years.
You got me beat right
Yeah.
now. I'm on going on 19. I'm actually like 18 and a half years right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's great, dude. I love talking to people.
what I gotta say, what I like doing is having people I can have normal conversations with, or things
Right.
that are that helps me look at it from a different perspective. Because you talked about groups
Right.
and how the old heads. I have to say, the old heads really helped me out when I was younger. Because I would ask a question and they're like, "Yo, don't let them
You're
put you
like,
down because of your scars." It's
right, yeah. And they're like, been there, done that, dude. Yeah, they know. I love that. I love the fact that they already know, and they're like, "Yo, got you," and they know you go, and they explain to you. Just don't let people put down.
and
So,
they're
no,
like, "Yo, let me be your crystal ball. I already went through
yep,
this. Let me be there for
yep,
you."
nope. It's great.
Hey, Alex, I
So,
appreciate you, bud.
I appreciate you. Thank you. I've been trying to like meet up with you and talk about this stuff. I didn't know you were in Colorado,
Oh, I'm over in Montana now.
Montana.
The great state of Montana.
Yeah, they had that for me.
Well, I'll be over. I gotta get back to North Carolina soon, man. It was actually.
I'm in New York right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm on the island. So
Well, I'll hit you up next time I'm out there.
cool, dude. Sorry, my picture went out. I don't know what happened.
Hey, man, at least your voice didn't.
Oh, my voice is shot. I ain't singing no karaoke anytime soon. I sound like a truck driving woman.
Like that
I
smoked
sing,
18 packs of
ch-
cigarettes.
yeah, chain smoking cigarettes, right? I got like a flask of whiskey in my hip pocket. Yeah, that's what I sound. Anyway, it's always a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Talk to you soon, Alex. Thank you, man.
Later, later, bye.
Later.